Hi everyone, this is Lady T with your June 2022 Boo Boo the Fool reading for Taurus. So, um, the reason why I chose the title Boo Boo the Fool was because when I grew up, if you were called Boo Boo the Fool, I mean, you were somebody who really, wasn't doing things that made any sense. And, people were pretty much, thinking you were the fool, doing all these things really without any direction, just doing things. Um, and, so they would say, you were a boo boo the fool. They wouldn't call you that exactly, but they would say, I'm not a boo boo the fool in reference to they would make very educated, very um, good choices kind of thing. But really, the boo boo the fool in this reading is more of someone who takes the lessons from life and applies them in moving forward in the way that they desire, authentically, true to themselves, un, uninhibited by what life has put on them and all of the cloaks and all of the layers that life has put on them. This is someone who is free. This is someone who wants to move forward with excitement, joy, and passion, who understands how that all works, and who really wants the abundance, wants the good life, the ease of life, wants to be in the flow of life, and understands what that is. And as we come into this new time, this is perfect for everyone to really start releasing the past and moving forward in a way that is going to equal success on every level for them. But that all begins with, the work of understanding, how manifestation really is, how it works, and the law of attraction, and being careful that you're not attracting things to you, because of, deep-seated kinds of things that have to be healed, unworthiness, lack of confidence, just really not making good choices, and not because you want to not make good choices, but because you come from a place where you have some things that need to be healed within you. And so those choices that you are making are coming from your subconscious mind and not your conscious mind. Consciously, you are trying to make, all the best choices in the world. But unfortunately, that's not what's been happening. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with your tarot cards here. For your center energy, you have Three of Swords, which is a sorrow card, heartbreak, and you have Judgment, which is the universe, and potentially karma of some sort, for a romantic situation. Now you also have the Chariot, which is communication of some sort, coming in fast kind of thing. And your undermining energy was the Prince of Wands, or instigation, and it came out sideways. So I thought that was interesting energy there. What led up to this is, culmination, wealth, abundance, wanting to, have wealth. And then what was your um, outcome energy? Excuse me. Outcome energy is, just really wanting independence, and to be independent of the past, the situation, or whatever is going on. Now we have these are cards that are going to tell you about potentially some things that you may want to do as you move forward, in this time of, looking at things, or in this time of trying to figure out how do you want to move forward, okay? Okay, so we have received time, and this is really about, how you are proceeding at this time with a particular instances throughout your day, and the awareness of how you view time. First of all, time is an illusion. And secondly, are you looking at time as if you're always, don't have enough time, or you're feeling rushed or something like that? When you feel this way, really take a breath, and ease yourself into a place of being, more relaxed, because that's really probably stressing you out more than anything. So you really want to, just be aware of when you're feeling this, that you really sort of ground yourself, and you take some breaths, and you let that, let those feelings, or that energy of feeling that you don't have time, really release, so that you will feel more relaxed, and then you will start to see that you actually do have time, if there is such a thing, based on what I said about the illusion. But you know what I'm saying. It's really about how you're looking at things that really needs to change, is what I'm trying to get to. You've got soothe your inertia next. I'm willing to feel inspired. And so that's what you're wanting to do, is really, take a look at, those people that you really admire, and look at how they handle things, and maybe incorporate some of that into your life. Receive freedom. I'm willing to savor my freedom by ways, returning to myself. And so, you receive freedom when you are being authentic, when you're trying to do something or be something, that you're not, that is always in conflict of who you genuinely are. And so I think for a lot of people, and myself included, it's about, really allowing yourself, to be who you are, and to accept that without any reservation or shame, or any other negative emotion that we tie to it. Oh, well, I want to do this thing, but they want me to do this thing, and if I don't do this thing, then I'm hurting this person, or I'm hurting these people. I feel so responsible for everybody's emotions and feelings and all this other stuff. Enough with that. Okay, because at this time you really need to focus on what is important and what is needed for you, as you try to get back to your authentic self. Because once you get to your authentic self and on that journey, you're going to uncover what is important to you. What do you want? How do you want to live? How do you want to be? What is your authentic self? Because it's probably someone who you have not been in a while. I know for me, I haven't been my authentic self in a while. I've people pleased. I've done all sorts of things to make everybody else feel good, overextend myself emotionally, physically, and every other way, in trying to help other people. And maybe maybe that's your circumstance too. But in all things have to be reciprocal. And when they're not, you have to recognize that, and you have to sit down and decide what's important for you. Another important thing is receiving rest. You know, do you just need to lay down and just relax, because you can't go and think something's not going to happen. Your body does not work that way. Your body needs genuine rest. Mind, body, and soul, all of them need rest. And so that's what you're really being asked to do, because in this rest is where you could potentially be getting some ideas on how to proceed forward, and any other information that you need. Here be an invitation. I'm willing to see all that is right in my life. And again, that's to me more of a looking around, taking a moment to see the beauty in your life, and the things to be thankful for. Here we have receive play. I'm willing to enjoy play under all conditions. Being serious all the time and not having any fun, there is no balance in that. And so again, you're being encouraged to really take on, the joy of life again. Because, and again, your next card is receive joy too. So it's almost like, the day in and day out of life has really taken its toll on you as an individual, and also, so you want to bring that spark and that creativity and that passion back into your life, but you've got to understand, that you're going to have to do some work to get that. And then, and I say that because of the next cards that we have here. So we have love first. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. only love itself. And that is, to me, divine love. You know, people, unfortunately, unintentionally, they may, do things that hurt you. Um, and that's because, they have their own things going on. Or they, or they're trying to do the same thing, trying to be their authentic selves and explain how, everything's going on. But as you understand that divine love is, pure love, there is no judgment, there is no, negativity associated that with that. That's just love, right? Pure and simple. But you also have clearing here. A true offering arises. It becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine to God's. Such freedom. And remember, you had received freedom here. So remember that, whatever we have in this life, even though we want to think we did all the work for it, we want to think we earned it, it's not really ours. Everything comes from spirit, you know. And so when we are not in the right place with things, we start to lose things. And so you've got to, pay attention to what's happening. Okay. We've got energetic clearing. During crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear, attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. So, you are having, your spirit team and divine come in to do an energetic clearing for you to let go of things, let go of, the past or pain or any negative emotion that has held you captive for way too long. Divine source, we have, help me know that all my deepest needs will be met. Let me trust that you have a plan and the right actions will come. You are my source for all. And this is really about your relationship with source at this point, and really, getting back to that relationship. I suspect, and I know from my own experience, source is always with me, but there are times that I may not be listening. I've turned a deaf ear to source, or for whatever reason. And when you do that, source is always going to bring you back because that's where you were created from. So you can not be paying attention, but source is going to get your attention one way or another. It's just like when you were a kid. Your mom or dad got your attention when you weren't listening. They got your attention. Source is going to get your attention because you belong to them. So you're going to go back to source, and you may need that energy clearing, energetic clearing, in the clearing here of things that need to be released in order for that to come to full fruition. You've got faith here, which is miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening to me beyond anything I imagine. And so that's having the faith the size of a mustard seed, right? But when you're in a real relationship with spirit, the worry and the concern that we go through when we're not connected to spirit goes away because we're home. In that and in that experience alone, the cares of the world fall away. So I do encourage you to get back into your relationship with divine, and really, connect to get the information, as you do in rest, so that, spirit can do the energetic clearing and any other kind of clearing of anything from any situation that needs to be released. I want to harmonize with my desire, and I am the creator of my own life experience. What if everything was to work out for me? I have control over the thoughts I think, and nothing is more important than I feel good. And this is really talking about vibration. This is talking about law of attraction and understanding how that really, really works. Up until recently, I didn't even understand how it worked either. I thought, okay, well, you know, if I have good thoughts for a few minutes and I put it out there, then I'm good. Really, no, that's not it. You really have to try to keep your vibration as high as possible, because you want to be in an energetic vibrancy at the same level as the desires that you're putting out there. But the problem is, a lot of times is we try to manifest from a negative space. We think we're sending out positive things, but our subconscious is kicking in with the negativity that's underlying what we think we're putting out there. And the problem is, it's a energetic mismatch. So you could be wishing for wealth, and you could be, or let's say, you know, because you did have culmination over here, let's say you're wanting whatever, that abundance of any kind, but and you put the thought out there, okay, spirit, you know, I would like to have abundance in every area of my life. Well, the problem with that is, if you secretly feel that you're not worthy, then the subconscious, and I only learned about this the other day, and watching a video on YouTube. It was a great video. It was talking about manifesting money fast, but really it was talking about manifesting, period. um, and it really explained things as far as manifesting, and that you really manifest from your subconscious. You don't manifest from your conscious. So consciously you might be saying, hey, I want abundance in every area of my life, but subconsciously you're saying you're not worthy. I don't have, you know, I don't have a right to that money, or whatever the case may be. And so you've really got to understand where things are coming from subconsciously, so that you can stop those thoughts in its track. And a lot of it, honestly, when is our ego, because our ego was originally put in place to help us in times of danger. The problem is our ego has really morphed into a lot more, and only because we've allowed it, we didn't know any better. But it's morphed into a lot more, and it controls our lives in ways that we're not even aware of a lot. And the problem with that is, it really can wreak havoc in our lives. It can take control, and now we're not even, you know, we're not even aware of the ego. And maybe we are, but maybe we aren't. So, you know, I really do encourage you to take a look at that, because you know, the ego is the one that's also planting that seed of negativity. So it's really encouraging for you to, you know, stop playing that tape that you have in. Think of your subconscious as a computer that needs to be reprogrammed, okay? Because the programs on the computer are outdated, they don't work anymore, and they're running rampant. You got a virus going on, and your computer programs are just having a field day. And the problem with that is, you may not realize that. And so if they're having a field day and they're just running rampant, and you don't change that program, you're never going to manifest the things in your life that you want, because you won't be in a subconscious level high enough in your vibration to actually manifest properly. The other thing too is about receiving. You have to have the place. You have to have the space and the place to receive. You know, if you are, you know, potentially, you know, doing things subconsciously, you could be blocking your own blessings. You could be self-sabotaging. You could be doing all kinds of things that will cause those manifestations not to come in. So really just, you know, understanding and being aware of when your ego kicks in. And really, you know, sort of, you know, having a conversation with your ego, basically, to say, hey, go take a seat. I don't need you right now. If I need you, I'll call you. But, you know, right now I need you to take a seat. And, you know, just really, really taking charge of how you want to proceed forward. And that's why I call this Boo Boo the Fool. Because number one, I like the title. And number two, I kept getting the image of the tarot card with the Fool on it. And to me, the tarot card with the Fool on it is about new beginnings, and it's about taking that leap of faith, and it's about really proceeding forward in the right way, the authenticness of you, the genuine love, the joy, and the joy that you had when you were a child before everything got put on you, that kind of joy. Because kids just go outside and play. They are having a blast. They're not paying any attention. They don't care about anything going on, because they're just playing. They're just being kids. And so having that kind of energy, but also applying the wisdom that you've learned through the lessons of life as you move forward. And so that's why I said this boo-boo fool that I'm talking about is not that kind of fool. They are a very wise person, but they do have that side to them that can be fun and playful and free. So I do hope that this helps you, Taurus, for your Boo Boo the Fool manifestation reading for June 2022. Much love and light, Lady T.